Alright, so starting inside the Monte Carlo today, and if you watched the last one, talk about the 6x9s and the 4x10 adapters and the package tray. I think that's what they call it. That little mishap being all butchered up. So if you watched that one, I went over it. So what I'm planning now is to start making the cover for or the base for the 6x9s. So what I think I'm gonna do eventually, after I repair the seats, I'm gonna cut this out, clean it up a little bit, and put a new piece in. I might use that brush on enamel also to paint it or coat it. So probably just cut out from about here, cut out along this edge, and then to about here, and then put a new piece there. Be sure to cover up the window and everything, try not to damage that. And then put a piece of MDF board there, and I might build it up on these two sections where the speakers are. Just build it up a little bit, probably at an angle. Cut this middle brace out so that the 6x9 could sit in there. Try to have it as low as possible, but like I said, eventually the window will be tinted, and then that'll be wrapped too, so it'll probably be at a slight angle just to have the speakers facing a little forward and not have to cut out too much. So that's kind of the plan. The seat's not too bad. Yeah, just move that one up a little bit. Still a little ways to go. Still a little ways to go on it, but I'm gonna make it happen. So what I'm gonna start off by doing is probably take the seat belt, take these bolts out, get this cell panel out, and then I'll come over here. I'll transfer this top piece out onto the MDF board. I'm not too worried about that lip, so get that MDF board traced out to shape. If I have to throw the lip on there later, I can, but just pretty much cut it a little larger to fill that gap, and we'll go from there. Like I said, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do yet. I might even come out with the cut off wheel a little bit to clean up all that back area, get some measurements for a piece of scrap metal. I'm sure I could find one. Either pick it up from like Home Depot or find something from work, who knows. But yeah, it's probably a little under 2 feet. So let's find a piece like that. As long as I can start getting the MDF cut out, the base, then I can mark where the speakers are going to go and figure out what I'm going to have to cut out from there. But let me stop talking, enjoy some of this weather, and have at it. Yeah, I should have a piece wide enough for that. Yeah, I'll figure it out and throw the camera on the charger and then cut you guys on if I have an update. Alright, so I was just talking for the last couple minutes, didn't hit the record button, but I think I figured out the plan or the route I'm gonna go, and it pretty much just comes down to keeping it simple. Like I said, I'm not expecting a show car out of here or the highest sound system, but just keeping it simple. So what I'm gonna do is I bent this up a little bit, but I still think I'm gonna cut most of this out, especially all those rough edges. So I think I measured from about this opening here to here is right under 20 by 5. So cut most of this out, pretty much all the jagged edges, cut those out, and then get a piece of sheet metal, probably just weld that into place. Try not to mess up the back window, so that'll be covered while I do it. But I think instead of the 6x9s, I just sent Robbie a message saying, or asking if he wanted the 6x9s back, because I think I'm just gonna go with 4x10s. As long as they give me some type of sound in here, I'm good. Can't be driving around in complete silence. But I do have the motor, so that's a little bit of music. But I'll put looked at some dimensions and just put some marks on the package tray where the 4x10s would mount up if I just pretty much directly bolted them to the package tray. So where those marks are, it's pretty much where the holes would go, and I could put rib nuts in there if I wanted to, or just screws. But I think that's the plan. Just go back with some 4x10s, make it nice and simple, still get some sound in the car. And instead of trying to save this piece, I'll still cut it out with MDF board. And with the 4x10s, unlike the 6x9s, I just cut an opening in where the grill is, and that should pretty much fit just right on the package tray. So I still have some type of grill look. It looks like a little bit upgraded system, little customization in there versus just a little cut open slots here. So maybe the MFD board, cut the holes in it, put the vents that come with the 4x10s on it. Probably cover it, well, yeah, definitely cover up this piece. Obviously it won't be there. And yeah, I think that's the route I'm gonna go. I know everybody's like, I just make the 6x9s work. I don't feel like butchering up this any more than it is. I want to repair it. Just throw the 4x10s in there and call it good. And eventually, I think the rear seat brace, I think it has a section goes here, comes up, attaches there, and then same thing on the bottom. But yeah, eventually I'll do the rear seat brace in here to stiffen it up a little bit. I think the package tray is a little bit of support, but not too much. But I do want to repair it and fix that. So I think for now, since I have 3.5 JBLs, I think I'll order the 4x10 JBLs just to keep the stereos the same, or the speakers the same. Still need to order the stereo, but not in, well, I don't think I'm gonna do the same as I did in the truck. I'm gonna get a little bit nicer one, just a little bit. Try to keep it on the budget friendly side. So I have to price those out and get some speaker wire and hopefully finish up the dash. Like I said, I traced out that bezel. I know somebody, I watched a video, they cut all this out and pretty much glued the plastic on top of here to keep the mounting holes like that, which I'm not going that far. If I wanted to cut up that piece, I would. But what I'm thinking, just cut out that plastic. It already has a few holes in here for screws. So if it's 4 little small screws that you see on the faceplate, so be it. I'm not too concerned about it, but I think I will have to trim this section out if I want to run the double dent in here and center it. If not, I could probably run it offset, but I still have to trim something. So yeah, that won't, well, it'd be close right there, but that'll just look awkward off to the side like that. So it'll probably be centered there. But I'm getting off topic. So yeah, I think today I'm going to try to cut out the MDF board, and if I get the MDF board cut out to shape in time, I'll come out with the cutoff wheel, cut that opening out, and then tomorrow on the way home from work, pick up a piece of sheet metal and tack that into place. And after that's in place, I'll probably go through and use that enamel, brush the enamel on just to coat that section. I think I still have enough left. Oh yeah, that's plenty. But yeah, clean that up and order the 4x10s. Like I said, I wanted the 6x9s, but it's not gonna happen. I do like the Rossford Fosgates I have in the Elko. I said it's just the two 6x9s. I don't even think the 3.5s are in the dash. So that's enough sound. Like I said, I want to have 2 up front, 2 in the rear. It should still be a decent amount of sound. It's not the largest car, so get some sound in there, I'll be good. And as far as the sub and everything, I don't know. I'll see how the speakers sound for now. And if I do want to add a sub or anything later on down the road, I always can. I know the Painless kit had a couple wires for an amp, so just keep those tucked away for now, and we'll be good. But that's a little update on it. That's the route I'm gonna go, or what I have planned on so far. I thought I had it recording the whole time I was out here cutting it, so I just did a rough cut to get it somewhat down in shape, get all this excess off. So if I do mess up, I'll try one more time. But eventually I'll go down or come back with it and get the sander out and take it down to the trace line. But let's do a little test fit. Camera might be all over the place, I apologize, but let's see. Hold on. Woo. Where's my hammer at? Yeah. Grab a hammer real fast and then should get back to it. Almost took out the window. Cutting more out. Just a little relief cut. Let's see. Yeah, definitely needs a little bit more trimming. Doesn't quite have the curve that I was expecting along the back glass, but we'll make it happen. Yeah, so I'm gonna make a little bit more of a mess, get the sander out, sand all the edges down, and then slowly start to get the shape I want so it slides up against that back glass. But I have to keep in mind that it will be covered, so there would be a little additional space to leave. So yeah, but yeah, It's gonna get there. It's already looking better covered up besides that big hole right there. So get that cut out to shape. Figure out what material I'm gonna wrap that in. It might be that white. I might have to do the white. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, that's pretty much the base of it. I'll cut you guys back on once I get it finalized as far as shape. Then throw the back seat back in there, see how it all fits, see if I need to change anything, and we'll go from there. Stopping point for the night. It's pretty close. These corners I rounded off a little too much, but once it's covered and the tint goes on, I think we should be okay. I could actually, I probably will actually redo it. Just keep in mind, I think this side, that back corner, that really doesn't bother me, but I think this side is a little too short that I had to keep in mind of these rear cell panels. So those will probably need to be lower, so I probably have to cut this corner and add some back there. But pretty much, really I could shave down that corner, and then when I wrap it, just leave the fabric longer on the sides and just tuck that up underneath these cell panels, which should be pretty good. Especially if I do, like, I think Robbie, just watched his video and he put the headliner material back here, which is a little bit thicker, and it has the foam on there. So if I do that to this back piece, just leave this a little bit longer back here, and especially up under there, it's going to fill that gap and still be wrapped. But I think I might take a little bit out of the center section up against the back seat, just a little bit, and we should be good. It's hard to tell, but it's pretty much flush with the back window. But when it gets wrapped, or the fabric on it, that will close all those little gaps, and we should be good. So I'm gonna order the 4x10s, and then tomorrow pick up that piece of sheet metal, cut the bad metal out, weld or even rivet. I'll probably just weld it in there. So weld that in there. Try not to catch all the carpet on fire from the trunk enclosure. So I'll be sure to tape off everything, especially the back window, cover up all the carpet or anything that's flammable, and we'll go from there. But these seats a little dusty. So eventually I'll probably re-dye these, just throw a couple more coats of the black on there. I doubt anybody's hardly ever going to be in the back seat, so the fabric dye should be good enough. It should last for a while, so I'll redo the top and the bottom of the rear seat, re-dye those, and probably re-dye some of these trim pieces. They've seen better days since I first dyed them, so we'll get all that tackled. But as far as, man, I've been looking at dash covers, and really don't want to do it, but I think that might be the route, just to save a lot of time and headache. So it'll be a dash cover, and then this will be wrapped. So I think I might end up trimming this down slightly, just for the thickness of the material. So yeah, that'll probably be the plan with that. If I do the dash cover route, because yeah, so once it's all in there, I'll find a way to secure it. It'll probably just be glued down on there, maybe, or I don't know. I'll find a way to secure it. Won't worry about filling these holes. If I needed to, I'd always use the leftover ABS plastic and just fill these, sand it down and find some way to secure it in there. I could probably do something like a plastic weld or rib nut or a couple rib nuts on it, and make sure it screws on from the bottom or something. But yeah, that's another day, another problem. But for now, I think we're on to something here. So let me guys know what you think. Would you have done the 6x9s? Went ahead and chopped up the whole package tray and pretty much butcher that up even more, or go my route, just throw the 4x10s back in there and try to save the package tray as much as you can. Let me know which route you would have taken. But yeah, it's slowly getting there. I'm getting excited. Everything's starting to look up. Then start the February wasn't too friendly to me. I had ran into a bunch of problems with both of the cars, but I think it's starting to look up. So yeah, enjoy the rest of that. Well, I guess the sun's already gone, but enjoy the rest of the little bit of daylight. Go inside, feed the dog, grab something to eat, and order the 4x10s. But getting close.